Are you ready to explore the world of mysteries?
Hello, mystery lovers. Imagine this. There is a book, but no one can read it. Even the world's best linguists, cryptographers, and artificial intelligence algorithms are helpless. It doesn't resemble any language, nor does it use any recognizable alphabet. This mysterious book is called the Voynich Manuscript. Let's examine together this unsolved puzzle of history, the Voynich Manuscript. It all started in 1912, when Polish antiquarian Wilfred Voynich discovered the manuscript in a Jesuit collection. The book, written on thick parchment and adorned with bizarre illustrations, was in a script that didn't seem to belong to any known language or alphabet. Interestingly, the manuscript had been noticed before, but no one had understood its value. Carbon tests on the manuscript revealed that it dates from 1404 to 1438, meaning it was written in the late Middle Ages. But who wrote it? Why did they write it? These questions remain unanswered. Furthermore, researchers who analyzed the parchment and pigments used in the manuscript found them to be consistent with the techniques of the time, suggesting it is not a counterfeit. Perhaps the strangest thing about the manuscript is that the text written within does not correspond to any known language. Written in characters that don't resemble any of the known alphabets, this text continues to be a nightmare for cryptographers. Experts have noted that the manuscript contains over 170,000 characters, which repeat in certain patterns and seem to follow a grammatical structure. However, this structure does not align with the logic of the languages we know. One theory suggests that this writing may not be a language at all, but rather an encrypted or entirely made-up text. Another theory proposes that the manuscript reflects an ancient language that has been forgotten over time. However, no matter which theory you believe, there is undoubtedly a hidden story behind this text. The Voynich manuscript is not just composed of text. As you flip through its pages, you'll encounter many bizarre and hard-to-understand illustrations. There are plants, animals, astronomical shapes, and images of people in what looks like a bathtub, but everything seems strangely detached from reality. The botanical illustrations were found to depict plants that do not exist in reality. This could either be the author's imagination, or possibly indicate plants that have since become extinct. Additionally, the book contains astronomical circles, zodiac shapes, and planetary alignments. However, none of these align with any known astronomical data. This suggests that the manuscript may be related to the astrological beliefs of its time or an unknown scientific study. What caught my attention the most in the manuscript are the numerous depictions of women, which raises different questions in my mind. At first, I thought it might be a medical book, but then I realized that the women in the illustrations don't resemble anything from the real world, implying they depict something entirely different. Why are women depicted so frequently, and what message might these illustrations be conveying? The Voynich manuscript has been the focus of many different theories throughout history. These theories have emerged from various investigations and analyses, each trying to understand the meaning and purpose of the book from a different perspective. Let's take a deeper look at some of the most prominent theories about the Voynich manuscript. A secret message, cryptography theory. According to this theory, the Voynich manuscript contains an encrypted message created by a specific group of people to protect knowledge. During the late Middle Ages, it was common for people seeking knowledge to use ciphers or secret writing systems. The language of the manuscript might be one of these encrypted forms. Encrypted texts may have been inspired by methods used throughout history in many cultures. For example, the recurring patterns and symbols in the manuscript's language could have been written using a cipher system based on a particular key. This theory posits that the repeating patterns and symbolism in the manuscript were deliberately placed to hide a secret message. However, efforts to decode this text have failed over the years, and the uniqueness of the language has drawn even more attention. But in a time when access to information was already scarce, what could be the purpose of such encryption? In a period when literacy rates were low, could writing itself have been a form of encryption for the people of that time? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment if you agree, or share your opinion if you don't. Maybe we can crack the code together. A hoax forgery theory. Some researchers suggest that the Voynich manuscript is a hoax from the period. According to this theory, the strange text and illustrations were created merely as a fictional work. The goal was to make the book seem mysterious and valuable in order to sell it for monetary gain. But I can't help but wonder, did people really spend money on books in those days? People were struggling to afford basic necessities. Did the wealthy elites buy a book with no idea what was inside just for status? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Intellectual circles of the time knew that owning a mysterious work would provide prestige. This hoax might have been a kind of art piece or intellectual game. The author could have intentionally left the text unclear, and the bizarre symbols might simply be the result of an eye-catching schematic design. Also, the fact that the botanical illustrations depict non-existent plants could strengthen the argument for a cipher or hoax. Connection with aliens, extraterrestrial theory. Many people throughout history have sought external explanations for unexplained and unsolvable events. The Voynich manuscript has also inspired such theories. Some believe that the unknown language of the manuscript might have been written by an alien civilization. According to this theory, the writing style and symbols could represent a form of communication from another planet. The strange illustrations and symbols in the book might not only depict unknown plants and animals from Earth, but could also represent an extraterrestrial civilization's symbolic language. The astronomical discrepancies, such as the planetary alignments that do not match known data, further support this theory. This theory has been criticized because it lacks a scientific basis and is generally considered speculative. But what if the astronomical differences are related to the astronomy of alien planets or galaxies? Could it be possible? Leave a comment with your thoughts. The Roger Bacon hypothesis. Roger Bacon, one of the most important scientists of the Middle Ages, has been suggested by some researchers as the author of the Voynich manuscript. Bacon was known for his interest in promoting scientific thought and studying the natural sciences. Some ancient documents suggest that Bacon was fascinated with encryption and secret language techniques. According to this hypothesis, Bacon might have used an experimental cipher technique to write the manuscript, intending it to be deciphered only by a select group of people. However, there is no concrete evidence as to why Bacon would need to develop such a complex writing system, making this theory highly speculative. What do you think select people refers to in this context? A forgotten language, ancient language hypothesis. Some linguists believe that the Voynich manuscript represents a lost or forgotten language. According to this theory, the symbols in the book could be remnants of an ancient or long-lost language. Some features of the manuscript's language share similarities with modern languages, but they can't be fully interpreted. If this theory is correct, the manuscript might carry cultural traces from a civilization that no longer exists. For example, the evolution and eventual extinction of ancient languages could support this theory. But there is no evidence to support the existence of such a civilization, and there remains much uncertainty about the linguistic aspects of the text. Furthermore, if such a civilization existed, wouldn't there be references to it in the writings or records of other contemporary civilizations? Could their extinction have wiped out all their records? Perhaps. medical and healing plants, medical or health guide theory. Some researchers suggest that the botanical illustrations in the Voynich manuscript could represent a kind of health guide for medicinal plants used in the Middle Ages. The plants depicted in the manuscript might bear similarities to those found in other ancient medical texts. The author could have written about medicinal plant usage in a secret language. This theory could reflect the sensitivities of medieval medicine and natural sciences. Most of the plants depicted in the manuscript seem to be either imaginary or non-existent today. This raises the possibility that the manuscript is a type of medical study created to preserve the medical knowledge of its time. However, this theory is also unsupported by solid evidence. If this book contained such mysterious information, why was it encrypted in such a way? Could it have been the secret to immortality? If so, where are those immortals now? Today, work on the Voynich manuscript continues. Artificial intelligence algorithms are being used to analyze the text and identify linguistic patterns. In 2018, a group of researchers claimed that the manuscript's language most likely stems from a Proto-Romance language. However, this claim has not been universally accepted by the scientific community. Every theory presented has brought up new questions. The allure of the Voynich manuscript lies not only in its unsolved nature, but also in the fact that such a mysterious work has continued to capture interest for so long. Who wrote it? Why did they write it? Were they hiding knowledge, or were they just creating a piece of art? All of these questions increase the manuscript's charm, making it a cultural icon. The Voynich manuscript remains one of the greatest puzzles in history, pushing the limits of human curiosity, knowledge, and imagination. Will we ever be able to solve its mystery? Only time will tell. But this enigmatic work is already regarded as one of history's greatest secrets. Imagine if the book that people have tried to decode for hidden knowledge was just a delusion, a product of someone's imagination, a complete farce. Wouldn't that make it one of the greatest trolling attempts in history?